It's pretty rare, isn't it, when an artist doesn't just like make popular music, but actually ends up changing the way we talk.
Absolutely. Some artists really tap into something deeper, something that resonates so strongly it becomes, well, part of the culture itself.
Exactly. And sometimes that connection is so strong, a song title even ends up in the dictionary, which is just wild. Today, we're doing a deep dive into something that explores exactly that kind of connection. It's the upcoming documentary STANS, and it's executive produced by Eminem himself. We've got some really interesting sources about its global release, and we want to unpack what makes this film and this whole phenomenon of intense fandom so significant.
Yeah, and our mission here really is to get under the skin of that unique relationship,
Yeah.
between an artist who's famously quite private and these incredibly dedicated fans, the
Yeah.
kind of super fandom that, well, it can define a person's identity almost.
Yeah.
This film seems like it might give us a real unprecedented look at that.
An unprecedented look, yeah. We want to pull out the key insights about what this level of fandom means and what it says about artistic legacy today.
And how that influence becomes, like you said, part of our language.
Okay, so to really get this, we absolutely have to start with the title, Stans.
Right.
It's straight from Eminem's huge 2000 hit, Stan. A song that, it paints this incredibly vivid picture of fandom tipping into obsession. It's quite unsettling, really.
Very much so. A powerful piece of storytelling in itself.
But here's where it gets really fascinating, and this is key from our sources. That song directly led to the term stan entering the language. And now it's officially in the Oxford English Dictionary. Think about that. A single track birthing a common word. What does that even tell us about an artist's cultural footprint, especially maybe in hip hop?
Well, the insight here is profound, isn't it? It shows how art, even just one song, can be more than entertainment. It becomes this sort of linguistic anchor, a cultural touchstone. It really highlights the almost unique power of music to directly shape how we talk about things, how we understand collective identity.
So artists aren't just reflecting culture.
No, they're actively shaping it, shaping its language, our understanding of, intense connection, fandom, all of that. It's a real testament to the narrative power of music.
And that narrative power seems central to the film itself. The sources describe it as an unconventional and fully authorized feature.
Right, authorized is an interesting word there too.
Definitely. It offers a, quote, raw, moving, and often humorous exploration of Eminem's legendary career, but crucially through the eyes of his most devoted fans.
So from their perspective.
Exactly. Stephen Leckart is directing, and apparently it goes deep into the emotional and transformative connection between Eminem, this very private figure, and these superfans. It shows how their actual lives, have been profoundly shaped by his music. That sounds like a really complex thing to capture on film, that deep personal link. How do you even approach that?
Well, the film's approach sounds quite ambitious and multifaceted, which is probably why it's potentially so revealing about fan culture. It's not just people talking to the camera. It uses, the sources say, stylized recreations, rare archival footage, and intimate original interviews.
Okay, so a real mix.
Yeah, a mix to paint this revealing portrait, not just of the fans, but of Eminem's own journey and how this passionate audience has kind of grown alongside him over decades. This sort of multi-layered approach lets the film explore the whole fan experience from different angles. It makes it potentially richer, more immersive. It's trying to get at the feeling of that devotion, not just describe it.
Okay, that sounds really compelling. So I bet you're thinking, when can I see this?
Probably.
Well, there's good news. The film already premiered, got some critical acclaim actually, at SXSW London earlier this year.
Okay.
And now it's getting a global, though limited, theatrical release. So you can experience it in a cinema. You'll want to mark your calendars. It's a short run, Thursday, August 7th through Sunday, August 10th, 2025.
A limited window then.
Very limited. In the US, AMC Theatres distribution is handling it. Over 135 AMC locations. They're saying at least 2 showtimes a day. And internationally, Trafalgar Releasing is taking it wide, over 1,600 theaters, more than 50 territories. That's a pretty big footprint.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, there's a new teaser trailer out and all the specific international screening details. Those will be up on stansmovie.com from Thursday, July 24th at 2 p.m. British summertime.
The fact that it's a global theatrical release, even if limited, for a documentary like this, that's significant in itself.
How so?
Well, for a film about this kind of intense, shared devotion, putting it in a cinema, it actually enhances that communal feeling, doesn't it? It mirrors the subject. It makes you think about how documentaries are finding audiences now, and maybe the value people still see in that shared experience, especially for a film about fan connection. It makes the viewing an event.
A collective event, right? That makes sense. And there's more adding to that event feel, isn't there? It's not just the movie.
Yeah.
There's also an official soundtrack coming out, STANS, the official soundtrack.
Oh, okay. Always interesting with soundtracks.
Well, this one sounds particularly interesting for music fans. Get this. It's got music that shaped the film's narrative, but it also includes previously unreleased tracks.
Oh, wow. Unreleased Eminem tracks.
That's what the sources indicate. And for listeners in the US, pre orders are already live. That's a big deal for collectors and hardcore fans.
Absolutely. That adds a whole other layer of value, doesn't it? A
Yeah.
soundtrack with unreleased stuff isn't just background music. It's like an extension of the story, a continuation of the artist's work. If you zoom out a bit, it really underlines how an artist's legacy, their whole impact, goes way beyond just one medium like film.
Yeah.
It gives this deeper sonic context to the film and offers fans something tangible, something new from the artist's history.
Yeah.
It deepens the connection even further for those stands.
So, wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway here for you, the listener, from this deep dive into Stans? It really looks like this film is offering a pretty unique window into that world of super fandom and, yeah, the enduring legacy of, well, one of hip hop's most impactful and sometimes controversial artists. It feels like more than just a documentary.
It does. It feels like a cultural snapshot.
Yep.
And, thinking of the impact Eminem has clearly had, I mean, literally coining a word, inspiring this level of devotion that warrants a whole film, it really suggests that the relationship between artists and audiences, maybe especially in this digital age, it's changing. It's becoming more symbiotic, almost like a co-creation sometimes.
Interesting.
So here's something maybe to mull over. If artists have this immense power, enough to shape language, identity, even community, like we see here, does that bring new responsibilities? Not just a responsibility to entertain, but maybe a responsibility to be mindful of that power, especially when devotion gets this intense. What do you think?